Yo, what is going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another daily video. How's everybody doing today? It's Monday. It's raining here in Chicago. It's overcast. There's no sun in the sky, but I am not going to let that get me down because today Mass Effect Andromeda launches at 11 o'clock, and I am super excited to finally get to play the single player. Yes, I did put 10 hours in the EA Access trial, but I only played multiplayer because I did not want to start the single player and then have to stop. So tonight's the night I play it. But there's a lot of shit that's going on around Mass Effect, if you guys have been paying attention. And this video is going to be about that. I'm still excited for it, but I'm going to ask this question. Can Mass Effect survive the animation debacle, or whatever you want to call it, along with the tepid review scores that it is getting right now? Can it survive that? Will those two things negatively affect the sales trajectory of the game? I don't know, guys. Because I have the Metacritic thing up, right? We're sitting at a 75 right now, a couple points lower to be in the yellow. There are some bad reviews in here, and I know nowadays people say reviews don't matter to them, but reviews matter to a lot of different people. So when I look down the list and I see IGN at 7.7 and I see Polygon at 7.5, and I see GameSpot at 6, Destructoid at 6.5, US Gamer at 6, VentureBeat at 5.5. I'm like, what the hell went wrong? Eurogamer basically saying it's the worst RPG or game that BioWare's ever made. ACG Gaming saying wait for a Deep Sale or Rent. Those aren't good, and people will be affected by those low sales. Maybe we should have known this was coming. I mean, when they announced the release date for this game, nobody really believed that it was going to launch in time, right? And maybe it shouldn't have. Maybe it needed another 6 months in the oven. Because if you actually read some of the reviews, a lot of people will say either, and it's weird, a lot of people will be like, the gameplay is fantastic, but the story sucks. But then other people will be like, the story's amazing, but the gameplay sucks. And it's like, well, make up your mind. What is it, right? I mean, there's a couple good reviews in here, like Survivor's at 9.5, which is the highest, but most of the reviews are at an 8. Which, on that AAA review scale where 7 is like the start and 10's the end, a lot of people look at a 7 or even an 8 and say it's not worth my $60. But this isn't really the big issue. I mean, reviews are important, but it's not the biggest issue. What happened over the weekend since the EA Access trial, I think, might affect the game more than the reviews, and that's the animation thing. I'm sure if you've been around Twitter, or if you've been around the forums, or any place like NeoGAF, or anywhere, you've seen a concentrated effort to tear down Mass Effect. Now, granted, some of those glitches and some of those animations are fucking terrible, and I have no clue how they made it into the final version of the game. They're absolutely horrific, especially for a AAA studio. As one person said to me, it's like high school animation. And this is a person who knows what they're talking about. It's bad. And yeah, you know what? What happened was somebody posted a funny video of the animations, like the chick running, like she has to fucking shit herself up the stairs, right? And then somebody's got to top that, so they come out with something else. And then somebody's got to top that, so they put awesome weird music behind it, so it's even funnier. And then it just rinses and repeat. Now people are playing the game to find those animations so they can get their 15 minutes of fame on Twitter, getting all those retweets. You know how those things are. And I'm not saying you can't have fun with those things, because certainly I laughed every time I saw some of those animations, because some of it were just ridiculous. And I do question, how the hell did that make the final game? And I know there was a Gamergate type thing that attacked a woman at BioWare, and BioWare to come out, they accused her of basically, ruining the game and having the final input on animations. But I mean, if you know anything about game development, one person isn't responsible for all those things. It's a collective team effort. Is this just because they handed the series off to the B team while the A team of BioWare is out making the new IP, that they thought Mass Effect had enough pull where they could hand the game off to, I believe it's BioWare Edmonton, who did nothing but DLCs previously. This is like their first full-time game. And is this what happens when you do that? You get this game that isn't up to snuff, that has a bunch of bugs and animation glitches, where half the people say the story's great, but then the other half say it's not, or that the gameplay's really good and the other half says it's not. You get this tepid outing where reviewers are mixed, extremely mixed. In fact, it's probably going to go below, I would say, probably end at 70, which is yellow on their thing, which a lot of people are like, you know what? There's a lot of people out there also that didn't want a new Mass Effect. My buddy DOA didn't want one, but he got it because he's such a fan. I'm a huge fan of Mass Effect. I want this game to be good, to be really good, and I'm not going to let reviews or animations affect my decision to play it. I'm going to play it, and I'm going to form my own opinion, which is what I usually recommend to everybody out there who listens to me. If you want to get the game, play the game. Don't let the reviews affect your decision, the animations affect the decision. But the question I ask is, these things combined, the tepid review scores, along with this animation debacle, or whatever you want to call it, can Mass Effect as a series survive that? Because I'm sure EA is looking at a certain number that they want for sales. Because I'm sure the game was quite expensive, even though it was a B team making the game, right? I'm sure they're looking like, we need to reach at least this to break even. We need to reach this point, of sales to do a sequel. We need to reach this point if we want it to be super successful. With these things combined, maybe this might be the only Mass Effect game we get. What happens if a lot of people are turned off by the animations? Because I've seen it. I've seen people on Twitter. I've seen people on NeoGAF. They're like, I'm no longer buying the game. Screw those animations. I don't know what they're thinking. They're a bunch of amateurs. Screw those reviews. GameSpot gave it a 6. I'm not touching the game right now. So-and-so gave it a 5.5. Screw it. I'm not buying the game. What if all those things together, put them in a pot, stir them together, and because of that, now Mass Effect doesn't reach its target sales goals? And then we don't get another Mass Effect. That would be sad, in my opinion. That would be quite sad, because I've been looking forward to this game for a while. I haven't done an impressions video because all I've really played is multiplayer, like I said, but hopefully I can have a review up whenever I finish the game, whether that's a week from now or 2 weeks from now. I'm going to be quite busy this week, but I plan on trying to get a review out. Obviously, it'd be late, but still, Mass Effect's one of my favorite series. But I just wonder, will this negatively affect the series, the game, the future of the Mass Effect franchise? I want to know your guys' thoughts. What do you think in the comments? Let me know. Do you think this is... Obviously, this can't be positive, right? Like, you would want good reviews, not bad reviews, and you want nobody talking about the animations instead everybody making fun of the animations, right? So let me know. Do you guys think that this will negatively impact Mass Effect? Will now maybe not get a sequel? It's interesting to think about these type of things. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hit that like button if you like the video. Consider subscribing to myself for more sexy daily content, as I do drop a lot of videos every day, except for usually the weekends. And I hope everybody has a good rest of the day, and I will see everybody tomorrow.